If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time to stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
𝐿𝙬𝙑 agus 𝐷 Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Kathleen O'Neill, inviting you to 2 hours of Irish music, news, and announcements on Detroit Irish Radio at cradio.com, crbradio.com. We're happy to be wishing you a blessed, wonderful Memorial Weekend, as this is the day before Memorial Day. And today we are going to be playing songs about the various wars and the involvement of the Irish and Americans that were a part of the wars that sadly have happened over the last couple centuries that America has been around, and how different Irishmen were a part of it, or Irish women were a part of it and still are. We also want to let you know that we can listen to this program after it's been broadcast on the Gaelic League of Detroit.org website radio page, where the shows are archived, or on Detroit Irish Radio Facebook page, which you can also listen to and find out more information about the program and everything that's happening that's Irish, and also at crbradio.com. Detroit Irish Radio is a part of the green wave of Irish shows that air from Friday night through Monday afternoon. Starting on Friday, Bobby Brooks hosts Friday Night 𝐿𝙬 from 4 to 7 p.m. And these are all Eastern Standard Time. On Saturday, Matt O'Donnell has the Imra Express from 1 to 4 p.m. This morning, the Rebel Rooster show was on from 10 a.m. to noon, and with Johnny Costello. And now we have Bruce Smith and myself airing Detroit Irish Radio from 1 to 3 p.m. And tomorrow our good friend to all of the other hosts, Patrick Johnson, has his program, the Irish Music Cafe, from 4 to 6 p.m. Well, it looks like we are already starting off the show with a phone call from our good friend, Father Brendan McCarrick. Welcome to today's program, Father Brendan. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Kathleen, yourself?
We're doing fine as well, and happy to be able to put on the show today and getting call-ins too on this Memorial Weekend. I know you have a couple of different bits of news to share with us today, so I'll let you go ahead and talk.
Well, I suppose it was a tough week for the Palatines in many ways. You know, unfortunately, Father Jerry passed away very suddenly last Monday morning, but he's in a much better place, as I was telling the people at Mass this weekend. A man who served God for over 53 years in active ministry. So the Lord brought him home to be with him. So this week is going to be a sad week for our parish and for the Palatines, but it's great to honour a good man like Father Jerry, a man who the first Irish Palatine to be the pastor in Detroit Diocese.
Oh, was he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was the first Irish man to be the pastor in the Detroit Diocese.
Well, very nice. And he set the standards high because you've all done well since him.
Yeah, following him came in Father T.J. Maloney, and after Father T.J. Maloney, then we had Father Brendan Walsh, and then Father Michael Cremenan. Now you're stuck with me.
Well, we hope we can have you along for a long time as well. Now, what are the arrangements for Father Jerry?
Well, Father Jerry's going to lay in state in their lay in repose in the parish of St. Joseph Church in 𝐿𝑚 from on Thursday, from 12 noon until 8 p.m. And there's going to be a rosary for him as well at 7 p.m. on Thursday evening. And the rosary service will be live streamed for those who have access to the internet. It's a great way of keeping in contact with those near and far, especially for his family in Ireland. And then at 1 o'clock on Friday, the 3rd of June, we're going to have a celebration of life for Father Jerry. And we'll be enjoying that as well. And that will also be live streamed from St. Joseph Parish, or St. Vincent Pallotti Parish, St. Joseph Church. So that's going to be at 1 o'clock. And there'll be many priests who'll come to celebrate, including Bishop Battersby, who's going to be the main celebrant, and many of his Palatine friends and his colleagues from around the diocese and those we ministered to and with will all come to celebrate with us then on Friday. And then on next Sunday, this very day week, I'm going to bring him home to Ireland. So I'll be going home to Ireland and I'm bringing Father Jerry. He just won't fit in my suitcase, but we're going to go home together.
Well, isn't that nice? And I bet there's a few celebrations of life back there in Turles as well.
Absolutely. He's going to have another days at the college in Turles on on Monday afternoon, and he'll have a funeral on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, they're going to have a funeral mass for him, and then he'll be buried in the Palatine Cemetery in Cabra, along with all the other good Palatine men who have passed home to God and are buried there with our confers. And then I continue on then to meet some family and friends, and I'll be back on the 23rd or 24th of June.
Right. You have a couple other celebrations as well. Is it your brother's wedding that you're going to be officiating?
My brother's wedding and my niece's baptism, and there's another lady I have a wedding to attend. Unfortunately, I buried both her father and her brother here in 𝐿𝑚 in the last couple of years, and so she's getting married when I'm at home in Ireland. So I'm going to attend that wedding as well.
Well, isn't that nice? All right, let's go back to Father Jerry's funeral service for a minute. You said it could be live streamed. Is that at the St. Vincent Pallotti website that people will be able to view?
Yes, it's on St. Vincent Pallotti website. So we have our own St. Vincent Pallotti YouTube channel, and if you go out on that, but if you click on the St. Vincent Pallotti Parish website, it'll be up on the Palatine by then, and the links will click on the link, and you can watch it live or you can watch it back, you know?
Okay, very, very good. I appreciate that. And while I have you, on this call today. You want to give us a little reminder and update on the Fraternal Order of United Irishmen and Palatine Fathers mission fundraiser on Saturday, June 18th?
Yes. The golf outing is going very well together, and again, a huge thank you to Brian and Marty Dunleavy for putting this together. As I say, unfortunately, I won't be in the country to join them at Inkster Golf Club, but I'm looking forward to playing with them next year. And it's going to be a wonderful celebration. They've got great work, and there's a number of teams have come together now, and there's teams are growing. So there's still, I think, 1 or 2 spots left for teams of 4. And it's $95 per player, and that includes a good lunch, a good Polish lunch. And then if there's people who just want to come for lunch alone, they can, and that's only $25 for lunch alone. But if you want lunch alone, they'd want to be ringing Pam as soon as possible next week. So, or contact the Palatine office via email so that we know if people just want to join us for the lunch. It's a great get-together, and it'll be a great way of having fun and enjoyment. And it's much happier this year that its first tea time is at 9 a.m., which is not 7 a.m., which is a big difference.
Right.
For those who want to choose to go and enjoy, and it's more relaxing, and there's no one coming in behind us on the golf, and it's going to be a very relaxing day with a beautiful lunch and a wonderful fundraiser to support the great work that Father Jerry himself first started at. Like, he started out in �W𝐞𝐭𝐫𝐲 and in Tanzania and East Africa, and so we can still support their great works.
Well, very good. And you made mention of him again this morning, mentioning he's done a number of things throughout the metropolitan Detroit area with the different parishes that he served. But he was the first one that had the young girls or female servers at the masses. I was surprised and impressed to hear that as well.
He broke the mold. He was a man. But he says, now these girls are as good as any fellas at serving Mass. And they were. And thank God, as I said this morning, we had 3 young ladies serving Mass for us this morning. And without the young ladies serving Mass, we might have no one serving. So he set the standard here in America at the time in 1991 or 2, I believe it was. And it was great that he allowed, that he invited the young ladies to serve Mass. And then just before he left in 2000, as a kind of a note, what he did is he took down the altar rails.
Oh, really?
Because there was word from the archdiocese at the time that the altar rails should be taken down, but he said he took them down 3 weeks before he left.
Wow.
And he says, no, they can't give out to me because I'm gone.
He did have a sense of humor and was always very friendly and kind to everyone. So.
Exactly. And when Father T.J. Maloney came in behind him, when Father T.J. was a man who'd blow off anyone giving out about Father Jerry, says, no, leave that good man alone. He did great work when he was here. So that was the end of the conversation.
Right, exactly. Well, you're all good men. So thank you so very much. And you have, maybe while you're in Ireland, you can give us a call some Sunday over there. But
with the help of God. And of course, another man which passed away, another great supporter of the Palatines, was Tony McGowan.
Oh.
And Tony was a great Palatine supporter. His funeral celebration it's going to be the day after Father Jerry's out at Our Lady of Hope Cemetery. So Tony McGowan was another huge Palatine supporter and a great man. And so he died last week as well. So I know that Tony and Jerry will be able to play golf in heaven when we're all playing golf and enjoying life down here in Michigan.
Well, thank you for that. I didn't have Tony's McGowan's notice, but there's another one as well, as long as we're remembering those that have died this past week, is Johnny King. He was from Clifton. So
God be good to Johnny. God be good to Johnny.
Yes. So, I will be sharing more of that information throughout the show. Okay.
And thank you, and keep up the fantastic work, and may the Lord God keep you all safe until I may or may not get to talk to you from Ireland. But if I don't, have a great time until I be back at the end of June.
Very good, Father. We appreciate it. Thank you so very much, and safe travels. God bless you. Bye-bye.
God bless you, and take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, with that, it looked like we had another call coming in. No? Okay. We hopefully we'll get the connection again. But we appreciate Father Brendan taking the time this afternoon to give us information, and we'll be sharing more about the different memorials and his golf outing. But for now, let's go into the Irish Volunteer, and I'm going to be giving lots of different facts about how the Irish were involved. This particular song is from David Kincaid, which the title of the album is The Irish Volunteer, and it's about the songs of the Irish Union soldiers from 1861 to 1865. So let's go in and have a listen to that, and follow it up with John McDermott's The U.S. Armed Forces Medley, which you'll all recognize.
Tim MacDonald, I'm a native of the Isle. Was born among old Erin's bogs when I was but a child. My father fought in '98 for liberty so dear. He fell upon old Vinegar Hill like an Irish volunteer. Then raise the harp of Erin, boys, the flag we all revere. We'll fight and fall beneath its folds like Irish volunteers. Then raise the harp of Erin, boys, the flag we all revere. We'll fight and fall beneath its folds like Irish volunteers. When I was driven from my home by an oppressor's hand, I cut my sticks and greased me brogues and came o'er to this land. I found a home and many friends and some that I love dear. The jabbers, I'll stick to them like bricks in an Irish volunteer. Then fill your glasses up, me boys, and drink a hearty cheer to the land of our adoption and the Irish volunteers. Then fill your glasses up, me boys, and drink a hearty cheer to the land of our adoption and the Irish volunteers. Now when the traitors in the south commenced a warlike raid, I quickly then laid down my heart to the devil with my spade. To a recruiting office then I went that happened to be near, and joined the good old 69th like an Irish volunteer. Then fill the ranks and march away, no traitors do we fear. We'll drive them all to blazes, says the Irish volunteer. Then fill the ranks and march away, no traitors do we fear. We'll drive them all to blazes, says the Irish volunteer. Now when the Prince of Wales came over here and made a hubbub, oh, everybody turned out, you know, in gold and tinsel too. But then the good old 69th didn't like these lords or peers. They wouldn't give a damn for kings, the Irish volunteers. We love the land of liberty, its laws we will revere. But the devil taken nobility, says the Irish volunteer. We love the land of liberty, its laws we will revere. But the devil taken nobility, says the Irish volunteer. If the traitors in the south should ever cross our roads, we'll drive them to the devil as St. Patrick did the toads. We'll give them all short nooses that come just below the ears, made strong and good of Irish hemp by Irish volunteers. Then here's to brave McClellan, whom the army now reveres. He'll lead us on to victory, the Irish volunteers. Then here's to brave McClellan, whom the army now reveres. He'll lead us on to victory, the Irish volunteers. Now fill your glasses up, my boys, a toast come drink with me. May Erin's harp and the starry flag united ever be. May traitors quake and rebels shake and tremble in their fears when next they meet the Yankee boys and Irish volunteers. God bless the name of Washington, that name name of Washington, that name this land reveres. Success to Maher and Nugent and their Irish volunteers.
All right, this may be Memorial Weekend and people are out and about, but there is also people thinking about Detroit Irish Radio and calling in. And right now we have our good friend Alfie Dean all the way from Athenry calling in. How are you doing, Alfie?
Hello, Kathleen. I'm doing very well, thank you, and I hope all the folks in the lovely place of Detroit are doing well too. And indeed, I hope you're getting as nice a weather. I'm sure you are. You always get good weather there in the summertime, but we're getting lovely weather here now. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining, and there isn't a cloud in the sky. And as I said to you earlier, you can see the jets flying overhead with their tails to white smoke, which is brilliant because during the COVID, you wouldn't see a plane in the sky because nobody was traveling. So that's a good omen. So things are going pretty well. By the way, now I'll be very truthful. Things are pretty expensive in Ireland too. Renting cars and hotels and that time is pretty expensive for people coming in. So they want to shop around. Let's put it that way. Certainly, hotels that have to stay out in the quieter towns as opposed to the big cities. You know, because there's a lot of refugees coming in are taking up the poor devils from the Ukraine are coming in, and they're taking up a lot of space. So there's a bit of a tightness on space. But however, we'll get over it. We'll get over it. But anyhow, that's beside the point. What I said, what will I talk about today? And I just thought about the amount of people and the Irish connections we have. Now, I often mention things like that, but I did a little bit of work on it. And about 32 million Americans, that's 9.7% of the total population, identified as being Irish in the 2019 American Community Survey conducted by the U.S. Census Bureau. And that between 1820 and 1860, the Irish constituted of over one-third of all the immigrants to the United States. And the famine ravaged in the 1840s. That figure rose to nearly half of all the new settlers. There were days when such separations meant forever, faced by such a prospect. And this is very interesting. The Irish immigrants did the next best thing to returning home. They gave the part of the new country which they settled in the name and the place they left. As a result, there are 11 Dublins, 14 Belfasts, 8 Antrims, 6 Corks, 4 Sligoes and Westports, 5 Wexfords, and, reflecting the Northern Ireland sectarianism, 4 Derrys and 4 Londonderrys. You know what I mean by that. As well as 2 Kilkennys and Armagh. There is one of Athlone, one of Dundalk, Carlow, Donegal and Fermanagh. One of Galway, Killarney, Limerick, Longford and Newry. And Roscommon, of course. We can't leave them out, although they lost out today. But however, other Europeans had also made their namesake changes in America. Paris is represented 19 times. Amsterdam is represented 12. Madrid 7. This is all in the American states now. Berlin 5. Milan 4. Warsaw 3. Moscow and Geneva 3. So there's a connection of Europe there as well. But there's something innocent about those groups that arrived in various places throughout America, and they were oblivious to one another. And it was very interesting. And they decided to christen their newfound town in the city after their Irish home. So that's why there could be 3 or 4 Sligos, but they would be in different parts of the U.S. And one group would know the other group are there. But a very interesting one here is that more hard was the Kerry man, John C. Sullivan. Now, it isn't John L. Sullivan, it's John C. Sullivan. He was general manager of the Mead, Wood, Sullivan and Pickshin coal companies. And he founded a rickety encampment of miners' houses and named it Tralee. and naturally he must have come from Tralee. Now today all the traces of the black-faced coal miners have vanished, but like the hills and the Baker Creek River, the name Tralee still lives on. Then you have since I mentioned John L. Sullivan, in 1889, international Irish boxing star John L. Sullivan trained in Belfast. No, not Belfast, Ireland, but Belfast, New York, for the last bare-knuckle boxing contest against John Kilrain in Pittsburgh, Mississippi. That August, Sullivan won. Sullivan won after 72 rounds, becoming the world's only boxing champion and the Bare Knuckle Hall of Fame. And move on to your former, one of your former presidents, President Obama, jokingly said, but I think he meant it. He said the Irish put O into Obama, and that's and we'd like to think that's true for many, and for Irish places, names aren't the only things in America. It also honours Irish surnames. So if your name is Kennedy, Killeen, McMullen or Foley, then there is a welcome mat awaits you in Alabama. It does so as it does in Kearney, Arizona, Carroll, Dermot and O'Grady. In Arkansas, Corcoran and Downey are there. In California, the Crowleys and the Dillons and the Sheridans and Ward in Colorado. Confusingly, the larger number of the Irish name places that are most English sounding are in the state of New Hampshire. There's more Irish names in New Hampshire than there is in any other state, and that's an English name. Named state. Now, it's I mentioned Sheridan, of course. We can't leave out Sheridan, Wyoming. That's called after General Phil Sheridan, who indeed was one of the greatest generals, I am told, I won't get into a political debate, that America ever had. He fought side by side with General Grant. Then the Irish Americans growing what is still a growing nation. Looks like the Ireland looks like a little green dot in the country across the Atlantic Ocean that could fit almost 3.5 times into Lake Michigan and 140 times into America. With its sense of conscious pride and their Irish forebears dug the highways, built the railroads and helped police the nation, which is now known as America. And this is an interesting nice one too. In March 1952, Ireland's ambassador to the United States sent a small box of shamrock to the U.S. President, Harry Truman, unwittingly creating a tradition that is still carried out today after 66 years. President Truman said he hoped the relationship between the two countries will continue to be good and effective for generations to come, and sure enough it has. So that's the connection. We have a great connection. When I named all those towns and counties, I didn't realize there were so many dotted all over America. And there's Éireann in America too. There's a lot of Éireanns all over America. And I think it's an Irish town named near Detroit. I think you mentioned that to me before. Is it Antrim, no?
That's what I was going to say. There's a little trivia with Michigan. We had Charles O'Malley from County Mayo that named 4 of the counties in Michigan after Irish counties in Ireland, and that's Clare, Roscommon, Wexford, and Antrim. So, yes, that's our bit of trivia.
Yes, I knew you told me something. Lovely. Pity there wasn't a deacon or an Egan from Sligo that went out there 150 years ago and named the town after them. But however, another time. By the way, speaking of Egan, there is a town in Minnesota. Outside it's a suburb of St. Paul, Minnesota. It's that EGHAN, but they reckon it is Egan, an Irish name. And another part of St. Paul is a little town, a little village called Castle Rock. Now, some of your listeners, and I know they're listening in, will know where Castle Rock is in County Sligo. But I was in the bank there. I went in to have a look at it and chat with them, the Castle Rock Bank there when I was out there. And did you think that was named after an Irish town land, but they weren't 100% sure where, but I know where it is. It's in Sligo. So we've left it at that. So as far as we're concerned, we've a place there as well. But no, that's basically what I just wanted to give you a quick talk about tonight, not hold you too long, just to fill you in on the connections we have. It'd be lovely to in the latter, wouldn't it, and to visit all those towns at different stages, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be wonderful. Maybe that's what we can do, a road trip, huh? Although not right now with the price of gas.
Yeah. We're taking Route 66.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all I have from here, folks. I hope you're all keeping very well. A pleasure to be back on air again and live, trying to make life as normal as I can. So a big hello to all my friends out there, your listeners and the people from the west of Ireland and whatever counties they come. A big hello to them. And as I said, I'm a Sligo man, but they're going around with flags here in Galway, flying the flag from Galway. But I leave that to if somebody comes up talking about that later on. But they're I shall say in Ireland, their tails are cocked. They're winning. But however, I'm sorry to all the Roscommon people listening to you.
Well, we enjoy the news and are happy that people are out and about and being able to play this year. Like you say, it's been a long time staying away and inside with all the pandemic the last few years.
And it's great that we see, I was back in Connemara there recently, and it's great to see our American friends coming back again, and they're coming back in style, which is brilliant, and around Galway City, around Key Street and all that places, if you went down on a Saturday afternoon if the sun was shining, every second one you meet would be from the States, and it was also dotted with people from Canada as well. But they're really coming back again, which is terrific. And I think they're opening up Shannon better too, more so than they were as well. But Shannon, if we could get more traffic into Shannon Airport, it would suit us better in the west, And to be better for people coming from the States and from Canada, because you're coming into a nice country area, you're not clogged up in a big city for an hour and a half or 2 hours in traffic. And we have a new system set up there in Shannon Airport too, where you don't have to take the things out of your bag. You don't have to have your liquids packed in 50ml bottles or anything like that. Now, there's special cameras in, and we're the only. Shannon is the only. It's the only airport in Ireland with that facility. I guess the other ones will take over soon. But I was just listening to the Irish news there before I come up, and there was queues in Dublin Airport, unbelievable. They happen to staff. They happen the security, they happen the staff to handle the bags, and there were literally queues out on the pavements outside the airport. So it's tough on anybody traveling, especially if you have family with you.
Well, exactly, and that's what's happening here. You talk about the car rentals. There's so many shortages on car rentals, and this past weekend they've also had to cancel a lot of flights.
I would hate to think that we're ripping people off. If I was in power, I wouldn't rip people. There is a scarcity, you see. The cars weren't bought to replace during COVID, so that's one of the reasons now, Right. And going back to the song you mentioned, the Green Beret, it's a lovely song. I know you're not able to play it today, but maybe someday in the coming weeks you might play it. And have you heard it? You have?
Yes, and we will pull it up for next Sunday. Okay.
It was as far as I know, it was Sergeant Barry Sadler that composed it, but he certainly sang it anyhow, and he made a brilliant job of it. He sang it in his uniform, and there was about maybe a dozen uniformed clients behind him, we were discussing that even today about the Green Beret, 100 men will test today, but only 3 win the Green Beret. They're so talented. So I take my hats off to all those people anyhow from Ireland.
Well, thank you so very much.
Not my hat, my hat.
Your one hat, yes.
Only one hat. Okay, God bless you, and it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'll talk to you in the not too distant future again. Goodbye, and God bless.
Thank you. That was our friend Alfie Dean. Really appreciate the call-in. With that, we are going to go back in and listen to the U.S. Armed Force medley, and then I'm going to share with you a little bit of the Irish and the Union part of the American Civil War. It's always nice to hear from callers. And once again, you can always text us or call us at 313-942-0159. You can always Facebook message us at Detroit Irish Radio or email DetroitIrishRadio@gmail.com. And of course, these shows are all archived to crbradio.com or the Gaelic League of Detroit.org radio page, and also posted to Detroit Irish Radio Facebook. I had a whole lot of stuff to share with you, so we're going to give it an attempt right now. It says, when Americans think of the Fighting Irish, they may picture the football team of Notre Dame. However, there have been thousands of Irish and Irish-American troops who fought for America in various wars. Approximately 2/3 of America's Medal of Honor recipients have been Irish, more than twice as many recipients of any other ethnic group. Today, we're honoring some of those that have died serving our country, including some of the fierce Irish fighters in American history. And as Alfie just mentioned, Irish has had a long history of serving in the military. Before the war, or the Civil War of 1861 to 1865, of the entire U.S. Army, 60% were born in Ireland, more Irish than Americans. Joining the Army gave them effectively a stable career and took them out of the slums or conditions that they were living in. They had immigrated from Ireland due to the famine, arriving with little money and unknown prospects. It's estimated that up to 200,000 Irish Americans fought in the American Civil War, with 150,000 on the Union side and approximately 30 to 40,000 on the Southern Confederacy side. There are monuments to the Irish Brigade in Antietam and the Gettysburg. So that's a bit about the Irish Civil War. We are now going to hear from Donnie Carroll. This is something that his father used to sing, and it was in regards to World War I believe. We hear that now.
At the turning of the century, I was a boy of 5. My father went off to fight the Boers, he never came back alive. My mother was left to bring us up, no charity she'd seek. So she washed and scrubbed and scraped along on 7 and 6 a week. When I was 12, I left the school, I had to find a job. With growing kids, my mother was glad of the extra couple of bob. I know that longer schooling would have stood me in good stead, but you can't afford refinements when you're struggling for your bread. And when the Great War came along, I didn't hesitate. I took the Royal Shilling and went off to do me bit. I fought in mud and tears and blood 3 years or thereabouts. Then I copped some gas in Flanders and got invalided out. And when the war was over and we'd finished with the Hun, we got back into civvies and we thought the fighting done. We'd won the right to live in peace, we never had such luck, for soon we found we had to fight for the right to go to work. In 26 the general strike found me out on the street. Though I'd a wife and kids by then and the needs I had to meet, a brave new world was coming and a brotherhood of man. And when the strike was over, we were back where we began. We struggled through the 30s, out of work now and again. We saw the black shirts marching and the things they did in Spain. I brought me kids up decent, I taught them wrong from right. Ah, but Hitler was the lad who came and taught them how to fight. My daughter was a land girl, she got married to a Yank. They gave me son a gun for stopping one of Rommel's tanks. He was wounded just before the end, he convalesced in Rome. He married an IT nurse and never bothered to come home. My daughter writes me once a week a cheerful little note about the coloured telly and the other things they've got. She has a son, a likely lad, he's nearly 21. She tells me now they've called him up to fight in Vietnam. I'm living on the pension now, it doesn't go too far. Not much to show for a life that seems like one long bloody war. When you think of all the wasted lives, it makes you want to cry. Well, I don't know how to change things, but by Christ we'll have to try.
All right, that second song, kind of just to calm us all down, is for those who went before, being played by Frank Edgley, a local artist, actually lives in Canada and Windsor area, but very calming. And I believe he makes dulcimers or something, just or some kind of different instruments. Very talented man. With that, how about we say Labrahana to those celebrating birthdays today or later this week, including today. We have Stephen Maloney, Sheila's husband. Happy birthday, Stephen. Tomorrow is Kathleen Hurley's birthday. Tuesday, Sophia Davis. On Thursday, past president of the Gaelic League, Roxanne LaPuma, and Neve O'Connell and Dan Jerick celebrate birthdays. Friday, these are all into June now, Joe Bradley has a birthday, and Saturday, Diana Kavanaugh. So a very happy birthday to all of you, and a big congratulations, 𝐶𝐞𝐭 to Sean and Laura O'Boyle from Northern Ireland, who welcome a daughter on May 23rd, Armella May. What a pretty name. Excitement in the O'Boyle family, and Sean's brother Tony is godfather. Many of our members that have been around for quite a while will remember the O'Boyle family, sisters Debbie and Kelly as well. But we always like to hear good news, especially from people that we know from years gone by. I also want to say 𝐶𝐞𝐭 to Father Dan O'Sullivan. He will be celebrating his 62nd anniversary as an ordained priest this coming Saturday, June 4th. So congratulations to Father Dan as well. Hopefully he's doing well, and perhaps we'll get to see him out at the Motor City Irish Festival, which is coming up soon. And we want to make sure everybody gets their tickets in advance if they want to get a discount on tickets, or perhaps next week we have a few tickets that we can give away. But and if you're willing and able to volunteer, there's also an opportunity to do that as well on the Motor City Irish Festival website. And you'll find the schedule, which we'll talk more about next week as well. Talking about music, though, we do have the Detroit Irish Music Association that meets once a month at the Gaelic League for a great session, the first Tuesday of each month. It is held at the Gaelic League, and they will continue through the summer. So look forward to June 7th. So not this week, but the following week. Starting at 6:30, they have an open class in repertoire and style, and then from 7 to 7:30, a slow version, and then from 7:30 to 9, the open session. This is free to the Detroit Irish Music Association members. Suggested $5 donation for non-members. If you'd like to learn more about this group that also meets out in Ann Arbor, check out their website, which is www.detroitirishmusic.org. And I know Bruce would say you don't need all those WWs. Right, Bruce?
You do say .org, that's fine, but you don't need any of the HTTP
Right.
://www.
We've gone beyond that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also happening on June 8th is a summer favorite, and that is Most Holy Trinity Parish 63rd Annual Smelt Fry. That's from 6 to 9 p.m. That's going to happen at Nemo's. $40 per person. There's beer, burgers, smelt, and fries. You can register at mhtdetroit.org. This proceeds benefit Most Holy Trinity Outreach Ministries and is sponsored by Nemo's. We appreciate that. A nice little pub down the street. All right, with that, let's go into a few more songs. And I want to make mention, our good friend Endon Riley did have a wonderful I guess you would say, a CD release party on the internet. What was it, Friday night, and you can now purchase the album, which is Whispering, on different platforms, right, Bruce? You're better at explaining than I am.
He is on Bandcamp, but you can also go to his website.
Right, and I think he said Spotify.
Yes.
There's different ways to get the music. The album is Indon Riley Whisperings, and on this release party, he explained the photos are from Glendalough in County Wicklow. Beautiful cover, and 13 wonderful songs. So we're hopefully going to get in 2 of them today. We're going to start with the one as we talk about those that went off to war and never returned. It's a sad little reminder of so many people that lost loved ones, including boyfriends and girlfriends that send their loved one off to war to never return. The song is Johnny Has Gone for a Soldier by Indon Riley. And then Derek Warfield's promise, when this dreadful war is ended, they will return and continue on with a life of love.
Here I sit on Buttermilk Hill. Who can blame me crying my fill? And every tear would turn a mill. My Johnny is gone for a soldier. With fife and drum he marched away. He would not heed what I did say. He'll not be back for many's a day. My Johnny is gone for a soldier. Is shoo, shoo, shoo-room. Shooga sucker agus shooga-cune. Shooga darish agus sheliglum. Iskaday to my forward knees long. I'll dye my dress, I'll dye it red. And through the streets I'll beg for bread. Since the lad I love from me has fled. Johnny has gone for a soldier. I'll sell my flax and my spinning wheel to buy my love a sword of steel. So it in battle he might wield. Johnny has gone for a soldier. It's shoo, shoo, shoo-room. Shooga sucker agus shooga-cune. Shooga darish agus sheliglum. It's good day to my voice long. And me, oh my, I loved him so. Broke my heart to see him go. And only time will heal my woe. Johnny has gone for a soldier. And I wish in vain. I wish my love would come home again. But alas, my John in battle is slain. Johnny has gone for a soldier. Shoo, shoo, shoo-room. Shooga sucker agus shooga-cune. Shooga
It's good day to my morning song. It's good day to my morning song. It's good day to my morning song.
This dreadful war is ended, I will come again to you. Tell me, dearest, ere we sever, tell me you'll be true. True to other scenes I wander, still your memory pure and bright in my heart will ever linger, shining with undying light. Do not weep, love, sit beside me, whisper gentle words of cheer. Be not mournful now, my darling, let me kiss away each tear. The glory field of battle, your sweet voice will nerve my hand, and when weary, sad and wounded, your fair image dearly stands. In my visions like some angel, you will turn my grief to bliss, and my pale and fevered forehead I will often feel your kiss. Our dear native land's in danger, and we calmly bide our time, when this dreadful war is ended, and the bells of peace will chime. Dreadful war is ended, soon I hope that day will come. Love's own star will lead my footsteps safely back to you and home. Oh, what joy again to meet you when the threatening storm is past, and the flag our foes have planted flies in shreds upon the blast. Farewell, best and dearest, do not let your heart repine. Though the sky may now be gloomy, soon the sun will brightly shine.
Right, I was talking about the Motor City Irish Fest prior to this song or group of songs, but it is coming up quickly. The fest is June 10th, 11th, and 12th at the historic Greenmead Park, located at 20501 Newburgh Road in Livonia. Their honorary co-chairs, well-deserved co-chairs who are so helpful and generous throughout the Irish community is Brian and Pam Dunleavy. They're going to be honored on Friday night. If you'd like more information, once again, it's motorcityirishfest.com to check out the times, the entertainers, the schedule, the vendors. I do know that there's at least 20 bands that are performing on 2 separate stages over the 3 days, 5 schools of Irish dance, a children's tent, Irish cultural tent, Irish whiskey tasting happening more than once during that time, where they have a representative, a fellow that's very knowledgeable in whiskey to share the different aspects of it. There's the Ring of Steel. Some of the groups that are being featured are the Druids, Blackthorn, the Fitzgeralds, and more. So you can get tickets on Eventbrite on, I believe it's June 1st. Prices will change, so you can save, I think, $5 if you purchase in advance of June 1st. And also, there is a $5 parking fee. Will happen regardless. On Sunday, of the Motor City Irish Fest, the day begins at noon with a mass, and Bruce and I will be there hosting Detroit Irish Radio. We look forward to that, right, Bruce?
We do. Hopefully this time you will hear us live.
Oh, yeah, well...
Last year it was pre-recorded, sorry.
Well, no, last year there was a live show, but we had our good friend Jim Henderson in the radio station.
Playing music for us.
Playing a lot of the Dublin songs that we had selected, and every now and then I called in with someone that we interviewed out there at the festival grounds, but yes, we didn't have the internet connection, or what we needed.
Almost the same thing that happened today. Yeah.
So hopefully everything will go well. If you are concerned, though, if you cannot hear the program, know that you will always hear the program. Later, it will be posted on Detroit Irish Radio Facebook page, as well as the Gaelic League of Detroit radio page, and at crbradio.com. We make sure that a radio is produced every Sunday.
Somehow you will be able to hear it. You bet.
Yeah, but hopefully everyone that's listening now is getting it live and in good form. So keep that in mind. Detroit Irish Radio will be out at Motor City Irish Fest. It's Friday evening, and then all day Saturday beginning about noon, and then on Sunday as well at noon. And we want to give a good shout out to those that are and have been planning all year for this wonderful event. Kevin Murphy and Charlie French, Joan O'Halloran, Dunleavy's, Pam and Brian, Peggy Gray, and I know I'm leaving out some more, but they have been meeting and preparing for this wonderful event that has just grown, right, Bruce? So it has just gotten larger and larger every year with great music, vendors, cultural events. The children's tent is fabulous. So it is a family affair. Do plan on coming on out and enjoying it. There is a paved walkway throughout the whole festival ground, and then you have to go off the road to the different tents. But you can see a lot of stuff if you're not able to travel on the grounds, I guess.
Well,
So-
and then they have the carts available too if you need
Oh,
to.
that's true
yeah.
too. For those that want to get into a tent, there's the golf carts as well that will escort you to your destination.
And
So-
us from our destination going
Us.
back.
Yeah, we're not lugging all that sound equipment, right? But it's a great event. So congratulations to those that have made it happen. It's just it's another one of those wonderful things that happen in the Detroit area behind the scenes that people are not totally aware of. And behind the scenes as well, I want to take a moment and thank those that are listening to us here on our live Memorial Weekend program. A big shout out to Stacy. Stacy, one of these days you're either coming to Michigan or we're coming to Illinois and enjoy seeing each other face to face. But she wishes all of our listeners a very safe and blessed Memorial Weekend, and we do as well. So thanks for tuning in, Stacy Skinador, and for sharing the show with so many that will become our friends. You're only a stranger once, is what they say. But thanks for letting other ones know about our program here on Sundays from 1 to 3 p.m. in Detroit. Also, shout out to Michael Brennan and Bud Fry. Thanks for tuning in as well. We're next going to go off to a couple more songs, but before we do, how about we say Aber Padres on a dia ta 10 to those that are in need of prayers at this time, for those whose names are not on our list, those that are suffering in the hospital or in convalescent homes, or rehab centers, that, also for those that have made us aware of prayers needed, including Bob Anderson, Sylvia Renee, Aurora, Laura Bond, Judy and Tom Bruning, Bill Carney, John Couture, Kitty Durbin, Brian Dunleavy, Bruce Farrell, John Finnerty, Bridie Flynn, Ed Foley, Chris Furton, Mary Gold, Dave and Aaron Keem, Howard Kelly, Nancy Kelly, Ann Kerwin, Gary Lane, Kathleen LaFleur, Kevin Lussick, Rick McMurray, Damian McNulty, Richard McNichols, Bridget Murray, Tom O'Halloran, Gertie O'Kennedy, Father Dan O'Sullivan, Joe Parsky, Mary Ann Quinn, Teresa Roddy, Marilyn Soloka, Chris Scanlon, Mary Sheehy, Megan Tierney, Sarah Turner, Lexton Williams, and Joan Wisely. Also for the caregivers, the doctors, nurses, hospital staff, family members, neighbors, all that make a difference. And being that we're at the end of May, going into June this week, we will be updating our list. If anyone would like to add a name or remove a name from the list, please once again contact us through DetroitIrishRadio@gmail.com or at our phone number, which can be texts or calls, 313-942-0159, and certainly through the Detroit Irish Radio Facebook Messenger. So with that, let's go into hearing Donnie. No, who are we doing now? Yeah, Donnie Carroll. Did I say that? Yes. No. I was thinking I had already done that. Donnie Carroll is the one that I think it was. The Army's All Right?
Yes.
Yes.
The Army of Today is
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know where I put in that this is a song that his father sang. Was that with Donald McGuck? Because it might have been. But this is where Donnie Carroll learned this through his father, who was World War I. The Army of Today's All Right. And then we'll follow it up with the Wolftown's Song of Liberty.
Mr. Churchill is proud of Britain's stand alone after France had fallen and before America entered the war. Could he not find it in his heart the generosity to acknowledge that there is a small nation that stood alone, not for 1 year or two, but for several hundred years against aggression? A small nation that could never be got to accept defeat and has never surrendered her soul.
Oh, sure, England boasts of Churchill, and Russia have Stalin, France they have de Gaulle, and Italy Mussolin. But Ireland boasts of de Valera, the man who leads the way. And when you're walking down the street, you can hear the people say, sure, 'tis all right, 'tis all right now. There's no need to worry anymore. We joined the army yesterday, and the army of today's all right. Oh, now we have the navy, and now we have our boats. We're looking for submarines along the Irish coast. We're also looking for pretty girls to greet us with a smile. Since Steve Valera passed the bill, I have a grown a child. Sure, 'tis all right, 'tis all right now. There's no need to worry anymore. We joined the army yesterday, and the army of today's all right. Russian army passed down by Donegal and planted a submarine across from the city hall. But if they try invasion, it will only mean defeat, because our anti-aircraft is full of sugar beet. For 'tis all right, 'tis all right now. There's no need to worry anymore. We joined the army yesterday, and the army of today's alright. So God bless our Irish workers far across the sea. They can't come home to Ireland to their families, but one thing they won't worry if the ban is on for life, because they have a chance of getting a second wife. Sure, 'tis all alright, 'tis all right now. There's no need to worry anymore. We joined the army yesterday, and the army of today's all right.
Stand beside me for peace and for liberty, for freedom's denied to many nations, with sad emotions for borders that run through these lands, and the hope that with justice and peace they will be free. Free the earth of weapons of war, of death and destruction. Show the strong deny the weak, when it's justice we seek for all. With sad emotions for peoples of these troubled lands, and the hope that all nations at war will soon find peace. For united we stand, linking our hands throughout this world. Our great chains of love will not be broken. We are singing this song, hoping our hearts cannot be wrong, with the love for all struggling peoples. For I hate to see children crying. We must stop all their sorrow and dying. Stand beside me for peace and for liberty, with the hope that all nations at war will soon find peace. It's our wish that all lands will find justice with peace. We will sing you this song, just for you, liberty, liberty, liberty.
All right, we had Father Brendan McCarrick on earlier today and the first half of the show, and he did mention the death of Father Jerry Frowley. Actually, his name was Father Patrick Gerard Frowley, Palatine priest, who was born in Knockaderry, County Limerick. After secondary school, he entered the Palatine Seminary in Tipperary. He was ordained a priest on June 8th, 1968. And his first assignment was to go to Tanzania. He was in East Africa for many years doing missionary work, as the Palatine priests do. And it wasn't until 1972 that he was reassigned to London, England. And from there, he came to America in 1976. His first appointment in the United States was actually in Nevada, and then he went on to Texas, and eventually in 1990 settled in Wyandotte at St. Joseph Parish, where he served for 10 years. During that time, he undertook many tasks, including the building of the parish hall, and he made it his goal to visit every family in the parish. Very friendly, kind man that enjoyed young people as well as old, and had all the time in the world to hear their stories and share stories. From there, in 2000, Father Jerry left St. Joseph's Parish and went on to St. Nicholas in क़'Apak and St. John the Evangelist in Allentown. Both those are in Michigan, as well as other cities in Michigan. He went to St. Aloysius Gonzaga in Romulus and St. Christopher's in Detroit. But in 2009, Father Jerry was assigned to St. Anne Church in Ortonville, which he loved and everyone loved him. He stayed there until his retirement in 2021, after 53 years of being an active minister of the missions and the Palatine Fathers. He is going to be missed by his sisters, Mary and Rena, his nieces, nephews, as well as all of these parishioners from the various parishes that got to know and love Father Jerry. He was predeceased by his parents, Thomas and Kathleen, and his brother Tom. Recently, Father Jerry, who as mentioned was retired or was no longer serving actively in the Archdiocese of Detroit, spent some time in Ireland and then came back and was living down in Wyandotte with the other priests next to the missionary house. And he recently said, "The priesthood gave me inner peace. Becoming a priest has brought me a peace of mind that I cannot put into words. You can't have inner peace all the time. Rather, there are situations in life that can disturb you. So I ask God every day for the gift of peace. There have been times I've struggled in life and times I've experienced some crosses too. But I had never had any regrets about my calling." Father Jerry will lie in repose at St. Joseph's Church, which is part of St. Vincent Pallotti Parish in Wyandotte. The address is 334 Elm Street, and that will be on Thursday, June 2nd, from noon to 8 p.m. with a rosary at 7 o'clock. And then on Friday, the funeral celebration, he will lie in state at 11 o'clock until the 1 o'clock funeral mass, once again at St. Joseph's Church in Wyandotte. It's part of St. Vincent Pallotti Parish. And Father Brendan had made mention that you could watch it live stream. That it is on YouTube. They have a St. Vincent Pallotti YouTube station, or you can go to the website STVPP for St. Vincent Pallotti Parish, stvpp.org. He also mentioned, Father Brendan mentioned, that Tony McGowan has died. The particulars, I don't have a whole lot, but there is a funeral service on Saturday, June 4th, out at Our Lady of Hope Cemetery, which is located at 18303 Allen Road in Brownstown. It's at between Pennsylvania and Sibley Roads, down off of Allen Road, or the cemetery is right on Allen Road. So we extend condolences to the Tony McGowan family as well, and friends. And then I also learned of Johnny King's death. Johnny King is from being waked at the Howe Peterson Funeral Home. Good friend around here at the Gaelic League. He died on May 25th, married to Margaret for 57 years, and we extend condolences to Margaret King, and was the father of one son, Michael. Johnny King served in the United States Army for 6 years. He was born in Clifton, Galway, but moved to America as a child. And there is viewing on Thursday from 2 to 7 p.m. And his funeral service will be there at the Howe Peterson Funeral Home in Dearborn at 1 o'clock on Friday, with burial at Great Lakes Cemetery in Holly. If you want more information, you can call the Howe Peterson Funeral Home at 313-561-1500. And once again, that is our friend Johnny King. So condolences to all of them. It appears we have another phone call, and this is, I believe, our good friend Paul. Is this Paul? No?
No, it's Kevin Murphy.
Oh, well, how about that, Kevin? We're going to have to program our phone so it shows up right. Kevin, how are you doing? We're so happy you're calling. We just made mention about the Motor City Irish Fest, but maybe you can share more with our listeners of how they can get the discounted ticket price this coming, well, it expires, I think, June 1st, right?
You're correct. You can just go to our website. There's a link there. You just click it. It's for Eventbrite. And you can get the tickets for $10 up till June 1st. And you can also pick up the whiskey tasting and the .001K run tickets at on the website.
Okay. Can you tell us, I didn't have a lot on the whiskey tasting. It is going to be more than once, like you've done in the past. It's going to be a couple of times, and is it on a couple of days?
Yes, it's Friday 1, 2 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday.
Very good. Okay.
And this man that's doing it's new this year, Gary McGinn went back to Ireland, so we picked up a guy that does the Highland Games ones, and he's half Irish and half Scotch, so he fits well. And he's going to do 3 Scotches and 3 Irish whiskeys and teach about the differences in the styles of the 2 sets of whiskeys. So it should be. I was at one of his tastings just about a month back, and it was fabulous. He's brilliant. His knowledge on whiskey is just amazing, and he's very flamboyant. He's very funny, and it'll be something people really enjoy.
It sounds like it, and it's always been a wonderful event in the past, and once again, those tickets are available by going to the MotorCityIrishFest.com website, right? Hello?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right. And what other updates can you give? How are volunteers coming along? Are you set there? Or?
Volunteers, yeah, we can always use more, but we're probably about 3/4 of the way filled, which is great. We can always use more. It's always everybody wants the early times so they can get in and then enjoy the rest of the day. So normally the later times are a little more difficult to fill. But we have great bands this year. We've got 20 different bands. 18 of them are local. And we have the Druids from Ireland, and we have from Toronto, we got the Fitzgeralds this year. 2 amazing groups and 6 schools of Irish dance and cultural tent. It's just going to be a great year. We put together a great package, and our committees did a great job, and it should be a very special festival this year.
I was going to say, I've already mentioned how amazing it is, you and your committee that have taken this little grassroots, let's have a festival, and started off in a parking lot and then off to a church parking lot, and now out at Greenmead Historical Park, which is just fabulous. And big credit to you and your team, Kevin Murphy, just amazing. I want to know, and I know that you've made it where it's so family friendly. The children's tent is a great place, not only for children, but for even the adults to bring their children, and they have where they've had musical, the tin whistle lessons, and arts and crafts and storytelling, and bands there as well. Just so
yes,
very nice.
It is a great job.
Very, very nice.
Peggy Gray does that, and she puts it together. We kind of got away from the bounce houses because last year we couldn't have them with COVID, and the kids were more into what was happening there, the stories and the music and the dancing. So we decided not to bring them back this year and just focus more on the events. We got the Kilted Magician there, and we got Enda Riley doing a musical story thing, and it's some of the young bands, Irish football lessons, beginner lessons, Irish dance beginning lessons. There's a whole host of different things, and all be posted on our website. The parents like to see them.
Well, I was going to say, and you know what? You're really doing what your mission is, what our mission is with the Detroit Irish Radio, is to just preserve and promote the Irish culture. And you certainly have done that. It's amazing. Someone asked me who the priest is for Mass. I wasn't quite sure. Is it Father Dan or is it Father Tim or who?
It's Father Dan.
Oh, it is Father Dan. Well, very good.
Yes.
That person will be very happy because they look forward to seeing him every year. And
yes, he just keeps hanging in there year after year. Father Brendan did it with him last year, but he's going to be in Ireland for his brother's wedding this year, so he won't be joining him.
Right. Well, very, very nice. And what other news do you got going on? Kevin, can you tell me what's happening at the AOH? I wasn't able to pull up. I know they're closed this weekend, but do they have any special events coming up soon?
Nothing much right now. We just get through the festival.
Right.
Yes, and the summer's typically slower there, and we do have a band coming in September for the first time, doing their first tour of America called All Folked Up, and they are amazing. If you look them up, they're amazing. They're a very big hit in Ireland right now. We probably won't be able to afford to get them next year, but we're going to take a look at them and possibly get them in for the festival next year. So that'll be the first week of September. We'll have them coming in.
Excellent. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time and calling us, and we won't make that mistake with our phone again. It
No
won't
problem.
be. Yeah. All right. Have a wonderful, safe Memorial weekend, and we are so looking forward to being out there with you in less than 2 weeks. Isn't it 2 weeks?
And having your show there 2 weeks from right now, you'll be broadcasting live from the Motor City Irish Fest.
Right, yep. All right, we hope we have the weather we have today and yesterday,
That'd be nice, yes.
Yeah. All right, God bless you. You take care.
Thank you, Kathleen. Have a great weekend.
You too, thanks. Bye-bye. That was our friend Kevin Murphy. Kevin and his team have done amazing jobs with all kinds of events, not only at the Motor City Irish Fest, but out at the Ancient Order of Hibernians Hall, which is another wonderful venue. We have the Gaelic League of Detroit located in Corktown, where the Irish first settled in Detroit when they came many years ago, which is 2068 Michigan Avenue in Detroit. And we also have a nice venue, the AOH Hall, which is located at 25300 5 Mile Road in Retford. So I'll try to be supportive of both of those venues that have the overhead and many activities there. And there's many other organizations that we want to support, and hopefully we'll hear from some of them still as this program goes on. With that, how about I make mention of the many organizations that help to sponsor this program. I'm very much grateful for the support, the generosity of the Fraternal Order of United Irishmen, Stephen Maloney and Maloney Tile and Marble, Friendly Sons of St. Patrick, Motor City Irish Fest, Porrick Egan and Emerald Plumbing, the Knights of Equity Court 6 and Daughters of Erin, the Gaelic League Irish American Club, the Ancient Order of Hibernians Stephen Walsh and Blessed Solanus Casey divisions, the Ardon Academy of Irish Dance and Kitty's Cayley, the Ladies Ancient Order of Hibernians Elizabeth Fagan, Catherine McCauley, Ethel Kennedy and Rose Kennedy divisions, Kevin and Shelley Murphy. Kevin, who we just heard from, are the proprietors of Murphy's Restaurant in Retford. Wonderful little restaurant. Go and support them. To Brian Dunleavy and Dunleavy's Irish Pub in Allen Park. Also would appreciate your support. Brian is the co-chair, along with his wife Pamela, for this year's Motor City Irish Fest. To Father Brendan McCarrick and the Irish Palatine Fathers, John G. Irwin and EXP Realty, and Mike Kelly and Environmental Maintenance Engineers Incorporated. Well, next up we have Another song from World War I, it's the Furies with the Green Fields of France. Oh, no? Oh, I skipped on my eyes. Thanks for being my eyes again this week, Bruce. It's Endon Riley, and we're playing another cut from his new album, Whispering's album. It's the song Danny Boy. I believe he mentioned the other day that it was 2 sons that had gone off to war and didn't return, and a third one was willing to go off, and this is the song that was written. And then followed up with One Small Star by John McDermott, and this just shares the loss we all feel when we lose someone, but today in particular we're remembering those that were lost, going off to other parts of the world to protect our freedom here and our country. So let's remember all those veterans with that song as well.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes, they're calling. From glen to glen and down the mountainside, the summer's gone and all the roses fallen. 'Tis you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. And if you come when all the flowers are dying and I am dead, as dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying and kneel and say an Ave there for me, and I shall hear though soft you tread above me, and all my dreams will warmer, sweeter be, if you'll but bend and tell me that you love me. I'll simply sleep in peace until you come to me. I'll simply sleep in peace until you come to me.
When I need to feel you near me, I stand in this quiet place with a silver light of countless stars falling on my face. Though they all burn so brightly, somehow it comforts me to know that some who burned brightest died an eternity ago. But your light still shines. It's one small star to guide me and to help me hold back the dark. Your light still shining in my heart. I'm learning how to live without you, and I never thought I could. And even how to smile again, I never thought I would. And to cherish your heart's memories that can bring you back to life. Some caress me gently, and some cut me like a knife. But your light still shines. It's one small star to guide me, and it helps me hold back the dark. Your light still shining in my heart. Can your soul be out there somewhere beyond the infinity of time? I guess you've found some answers now. I'll have to wait for mine till my light joins with yours one day. We'll shine through time and space, and one day fall on a distant age upon some stranger's face. But your light still shines. It's one small star to guide me, and it helps me hold back the dark. Your light still shining in my heart. Your light still shining in my
Just a little reminder that the last step dance and Kaylee classes for the summer is this coming Friday at the Gaelic League. Kaylee is at 8, and all are welcome. Come on down and enjoy learning the steps. Maybe you could practice over the summer, or just developing some friendships before the summer begins, and you might find out where different people are going for these various festivals throughout the Midwest. The Ardon Academy teaches both step dancing, and then Kitty has her Kaylee once again on Fridays, and they will stop after June 3rd until the fall. If you need more information, check out their website, ardonacademy.com. It's ARDANACADEMY. Or call 734-762-2700. 0997. Once again, the Gaelic dancing beginners are welcome, and everyone ends up having a great time. And coming up this Saturday, June 4th, from 8 to 11 p.m. is the group 𝐃𝐞𝐭. So they've increased their music for an extra hour. Was from 8 to 10. Moving forward, we hope that we can open up more here at the Gaelic League, but coming up this Saturday is a great group, 𝐃𝐞𝐭. Come by and enjoy. I want to thank our individual sponsors, including Marianne Quinn, Richard and Maggie Limke, Dennis and Marilyn Clark, Jerry and Mary Bailey DePorter, Kate and Bill Miller, the Victory and Maloney families, Nick and Peggy Shimatero, Kathleen Gallagher, Brian and Pam Dunleavy, Michael Goddard, Teresa Roddy, Bruce Smith, Evelyn Carney, Bill and Marianne Knight, Heather Lemus, Brian Maher, Richard McGee, Jim and Bev Murphy, Mary Ryan, Paul and Agnes Gowdy, Peggy Walsh, Kitty Heinzman, Donald and Marcia Detter, Peter and Maura Dewan and family, Peggy Gray, Michael and Eileen Berry family, Barbara Sullivan, Aaron and Dave Keem, John Bentley, Kathy Baker, John and Mary Bongiorno, Dan and Kathleen Partika, Michael Klein, Aileen Daniel, Gertie and Maura Kennedy, Nora Martin, Doris McCarville, Bridget McCarville, Bob and Peggy Berger, Patrick Callagher, Karen Kelly, Patrick and Ann O'Hara, Sylvia Donahue, Nancy Kelly, Bob and Mary Beth Munt, John and Kathleen Trainer. Thank you so much for your support. Next up, if Bruce keeps me on track, we'll hear from the Furies, this time the Green Fields of France, and then followed up with the Coleman Country. There's 5 flute players in this group, with Sailor on the Rock, Bird in the Bush, and Tear the Calico.
Well, how do you do, young Willie McBride? Do you mind if I sit here down by your graveside and rest for a while, neath the warm summer sun? I've been walking all day and I'm nearly done. I see by your gravestone you are only 19 when you joined the Great Fallen in 1916. I hope you died well, and I hope you died clean. Our young Willie McBride, was it slow and obscene? Did he beat the drums slowly? Did he play the fife slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? And did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Did you leave a wife or a sweetheart behind? In some faithful heart is your memory enshrined? Although you died back in 1916, in that faithful heart are you forever 19? Or are you a stranger without even a name, enclosed and forever behind the glass frame, in an old photograph, torn, battered and stained, and faded to yellow in the brown leather frame? Did he beat the drum slowly? Did he play the fife slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? And did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? The sun, now it shines on the green fields of France. There's a warm summer breeze, it makes the red poppies dance. And look how the sun shines from under the clouds. There's no gas, no barbed wire, there's no gun firing now. But here in this graveyard, it's still no man's land. The countless white crosses stand mute in the sand. To man's blind indifference to his fellow man, to a whole generation that were butchered and damned. Did he beat the drum slowly? Did he play the fife slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? And did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? I am Willie McBride, I can't help wonder why. To those that lie here, know why did they die? And did they believe when they answered the call? Did they really believe that this war would end wars? Well, the sorrow, the suffering, the glory, the pain, the killing and dying were all done in vain. For young Willie McBride, it all happened again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they play the fife slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they play the fife slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? And did the pipes play the flowers of the forest?
All right, we're going to have to take a break between these songs because we have our good friend Paul Gowdy calling in today too. Thanks for sharing news with us on this Memorial Weekend. Paul, what's going on in the Gowdy or the Ancient Order of Hibernians household?
Yep, well, our Ancient Order of Hibernians, the Forest Lands Casey Division, just wanted to share with everybody that Saturday, June the 11th, we're going to be doing our 21st annual golf benefit. And it's going to be at Fern Hill Golf Club up on Clinton Road, Clinton Township. And the registrations will start at 7 o'clock in the morning, and the game will actually start with a shotgun at 8 o'clock. But prior to that, we serve some free Bloody Marys and screwdrivers at the driver bar before the tee-off. And then we also give coffee and donuts to people, hot dogs and beverages at the turn. And then afterwards, we have a steak dinner at an open bar. And we've got a lot of door prizes, and there'll be a 50-50 raffle. And to come along that day and play, it's $100. And I can be contacted along with Jerry Stewart, Mark Mahoney, and Mike Klein. And we're looking for whole sponsorships. If anybody would like to sponsor us, the money we make from this golf outing goes to the 𝐃𝐞𝐭𝐫𝐨𝐢𝐭 organization. They do a lot of work with handicapped children, bringing horses out to them and let them play with a horse and pet on them, get rides on them and whatnot. And they're a good organization. And like I said, it goes to Children's Cancer Charity. So we need a lot of support. So we can get some more golfers, so we can get some more gifts that we can give away on the raffles, and also the whole sponsorships, $100 for a whole sponsorship. We'll appreciate all the input we can get from our Irish community.
Well, that sounds wonderful, and you are one of those groups that's on the east side. So for all those that are the northeast, for those that live out that direction, this Fernhill Golf Club is in Clinton Township, right?
Yep, it's 17600 Clinton River Road, Clinton Township. Yep.
Okay, well, very good. I appreciate you sharing that news, and hopefully we'll hear again from you next Sunday with some more news.
Well, thank you very much for doing the job you do, Kathleen. You do a wonderful service for the Irish community here in the greater Detroit area and Michigan. And without you, we couldn't hear what's going on and around here and what's happening in Ireland, and you've no idea how much you're appreciated for this radio show.
Well, thank you very much, Paul. But it's people like you that share the news so we can share with others. So we appreciate you as well, and certainly the support. And it's not too late to get a sponsoring a hole or.
No, not too late at all. You can get with me, let me know during the week, and I can get the details, and we can always pick up the money later. Yeah.
Okay, put Detroit Irish Radio down. We'll certainly support a hole. All right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, darling.
All right, take care.
Love
God
you.
bless. Yep.
Right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It's always nice to hear from other people, and we do try to be supportive, and they're not doing an ad book, so we'll do a sign or a whole sponsorship. With that, I want to just give a few little facts. And Bruce, what are we going to do? We'll save that song to play out, or
You want me to?
I'm Bruce is the one that's handling the music, so
You've got.
we don't have a whole lot of time. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So we'll share a little bit of news, and we'll just leave it with the song that we suggested.
We're going to do, yeah.
Okay. Do we want to do this at all? The taps?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's do that. We're wasting time. But just an interesting fact, the Irish state was officially neutral in World War II, but some 70,000 citizens of Ireland chose to serve in the British Army or armed forces during the war, together with another 50,000 from Northern Ireland. Some 5,000 Irish volunteers were killed during the Second World War, and many thousand more were wounded. Compared with the 37,000 Irish perished in the First World War, this was a low number of casualties, but for a small country, it constituted a substantial sacrifice and a significant contribution to the Allied cause. Ireland didn't directly send troops to Korea, but many Irish soldiers once again served in British and UN regiments. In an overdue recognition of Ireland's sacrifice, a new memorial for the 159 people of Irish heritage who died in the Korean War was unveiled in the War Memorial of Korea. The Vietnam War lasted over 10 years, and during this conflict, 3 million Vietnamese and more than 600,000 U.S. and foreign soldiers died. Immigrants with green cards in the U.S. in the 1960s were eligible for conscription, and it's estimated that around 3,000 Irish-born men and women served in the U.S. Armed Forces in Vietnam, and 29 of those Irish were killed in action there. This recognizes the many contributions of foreign nationals in the U.S. Navy, U.S. Marine, and the Armed Forces. And there's so much more I could share with you. Since the UN, the Ireland joined the UN, they have been deployed in peacemaking missions as well. So we remember all our Irish and Irish American veterans today, this weekend, and certainly throughout the year. Bruce is telling me I'm running out of time, so we'll go on to hear this one selection from the Coleman Country Sligo musicians, and then we're going to follow it with taps. So why don't I thank you for tuning in to Detroit Irish Radio right now on CRBradio.com. This has been your host, Kathleen O'Neill, with Bruce Smith, wishing all of you a wonderful weekend, Memorial Weekend, and to our call-ins, which included Alfie Dean, Father Brendan McCarrick, and Paul Gallaty.
And Kevin Murphy.
Oh, and Kevin Murphy, thank you very much. And a little reminder, there are a few funerals this week. Tony McGowan, it's on Saturday. Father Jerry Frowley is on Friday down in Wyandotte, and Johnny King is in Dearborn at Howe Peterson. So until next week, be kind to yourself, be kind to each other, have a safe weekend. 𝐶𝐞𝐭𝐫𝐲𝐬𝐭 𝐈𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐡 𝐑𝐚𝐝𝐢𝐿